Okay, so let's have a quick look at simplifying algebraic fractions. And I'm just going to do a quick example down the bottom in red. Say, for instance, we have 12 over 3. We can simplify that by dividing numerator and denominator by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4, 3 divided by 3 is 1. We just write 4. The same principle is true of algebraic fractions. Let's try another one. Let's do 12 over 50. Okay, so the highest common factor of 12 and 50 is 2. So we get 6 over 25. Okay, so let's have a look at these algebraic fractions. Okay, so I'm going to do question 5. Okay, so 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then we've got a squared divided by a. Now, you should note that the division index laws, if we have a to the m divided by a to the n, we subtract them. So we get a to the 2 subtract 1. So we just imagine there's a little 1 here. And then we have b, 1 minus 1, but you should know that b divided by b is 1. Okay, so we're going to get 6a because 2 minus 1 is 1, and b to the 0 is just 1, so we just get 6 to the a. Okay, let's do, shows the most difficult one to do. Let's do 6, even more difficult. Now 12 divided by 2 is 6. We've got a, 2 minus 1, and we've got b, 3 minus 1. So we imagine there's a little 1 on top of there. So that leaves 6a b squared. Okay, pause the video and see if you can do the rest of the examples. Okay, so hopefully you've done that now. 12 divided by 2 is 6m. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And we've got m squared divided by m is just m. We can show that m squared is m times m divided by m just gives m. We can cancel, then give n. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and we can cancel. Cancelling is dividing, a divided by a is 1. Okay, so hopefully you got all those correct. And let's look at some more complicated examples. Okay, let's try 3 examples. Okay, 1. Let's do 3d times 4e all over 6e. Let's try 2. 15m n squared p all over 3m squared n squared. Let's do 3. Let's do negative 4 x squared y multiplied by 3y all over negative 2xy multiplied by negative 6xy. Okay, so pause the video and do as much of these questions as you can, and then I'll go over the solution. Okay, so let's look at the solution. Okay, let's do the numerator first. The numerator is the top part of the fraction, which is here. 3 times 4 is 12. D times E is written DE. in maths. And we're over 6e. Okay, 12 divided by 6 is 2. And we can cancel the e's. When we cancelling, we mean we're actually dividing. E divided by e is 1. So we're just left with d. Okay, so question number 2. We got 15 divided by 3 is 5. And we've got m over m squared. Well, if we divide numerator and denominator by m, let's do that then. We're just left with 1 on the numerator, and we are left with m on the denominator, because 2 minus 1 is just 1. But I'm not gonna write that in. Okay, so we've managed to do. So we'll rub this out. Okay, so let's do the n's. The n's cancel, and that is the same as dividing numerator and denominator by n squared. N squared divided by n squared is just 1. And we're left with a p. So let's tidy this up. That is 5pm. Okay, so number 3 is a little bit more complicated. Let's do the multiplication first. We've got minus 4 multiplied by 3. That gives minus 12. We don't have any x squareds here. This is multiply. So we have x squared, and we have y times y, which is y squared. All over. Okay, so we've got a minus times a minus, which is a plus. 2 6s are 12. And then we've got x squared, y squared. Okay, so negative 12 divided by 12 is just 1. We've got x squared divided by x squared, which is just 1. And we've got y squared divided by y squared, which is just 1. So we were left with 1. Okay, so let's do some more examples just to make sure that you've really got these. Okay, let's do. Okay, let's do 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's do negative 10 m squared n all over 5mn. Let's do negative 2 mn times negative 3 mn. I'm going to put a bracket around there, divided by mn, and let's do 2ab squared times 3ab cubed all over 2ab. Okay, pause the video and see how far you can get with these, and then we'll go over the answers. Okay, so number 4 was pretty straightforward. Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. And we've got m squared divided by m, which is just m. And we've got n divided by n, which is just 1. Okay, question number 5. We've got negative 2 multiplied by negative 3. That gives 6. We've got m times m, which is m squared. We've got n times n, which is n squared, all divided by mn. Okay, so if you can imagine, there's a little 1 in front of you. 6 divided by 1 is 6. M squared divided by m is m. N squared divided by n n squared divided by n is n. Okay, so a little bit more complicated. I'll just do this up here. So we got 2ab squared. Now this is 2ab multiplied by 2ab. 2 times 2 is 4a squared b squared. However, I like to square things individually. So 2 squared is 4, and we've got a squared b squared. Okay, we've got 3 cubed. That means 3 times 3 times 3. So that gives 27. A cubed, b cubed, all over 2ab. Okay, you can do some simplification before you multiply everything, and I'd encourage you to do that. It's not wrong to multiply everything out, but this just makes it easier. Okay, now we can divide this. 4 divided by 2 is 2ab. Now, I just want to go over this. We've got 4a squared b squared divided by 2ab. 4 divided by 2 is 2. A squared divided by a is a to the 2 minus 1. B squared divided by b is 2 minus 1, which gives 2ab. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's risk rubbing this out. Oof, got this. Okay. Sometimes when we use the rubber, you get that nasty thing. Okay, so we've got 2 times 27, which is 54. We've got a times a cubed, which is a to the 4. We've got b times b cubed, which is b to the 4. So this is the answer. Okay, so hopefully now you can simplify a algebraic fraction.